the Federal Reserve's monthly meeting on interest rates are sure to impact the real estate market. I'm here now with realtor Burr, a good friend of our show, for a prediction of real estate in our area this fall. Corey, so good to have you back. What's the outlook?
Well, today marks the beginning of the fall market, and really it's a short market. It's only about 10 weeks long until right before Thanksgiving, and then people step back a little bit. They don't really want to transact properties during the holidays. It will start up again in January. So we see a lot of sellers who are putting their properties on the market in the next week or 10 days. So that should help with inventory for buyers. The second thing is that we're in the best interest rate environment that we've been in the last 3 years. The Federal Reserve is thinking about bringing down rates, and also the 30-year fixed has gone from a top of 8% to closer to 6 or 6.25 recently, which is terrific. The last thing is that really the fall is the best time for buyers to buy. You've got a lot of sellers who didn't sell in the summertime who are anxious to sell their properties before the winter. And you've got a lot of inventory that, well, just many sellers who are going to put their houses on the market really want something to happen before the Christmas time.
Okay, so it could be more inventory for those who are looking to purchase than we've seen in previous months.
I think so. Really, it's the best time for a buyer to buy a property since the beginning of the pandemic. And that's a big statement, but it really is, because the interest rates are lower and we've got more inventory, there's less competition, and it's a much better experience for buyers right now.
I understand there are some new rules now with real estate agents. Can you break down some of those?
So it's on both sides. For buyers, we need to have a signed buyer agency agreement before we set foot into the first scheduled appointment. Now, that's not that big a deal around here because we've had buyer agency for over 30 years, but many parts of the country had not had that. And then for sellers, they don't have to offer a commission to buyer agents. Many firms are still recommending that. Our firm is recommending that in hopes of enticing buyers and agents to show our listings. But really, even before these rule changes, a seller was free to offer any amount of cooperating commission that they wanted to.
Yeah, you can still negotiate those commissions for sure. Are homes still going above asking?
So in Montgomery County, they're going right at 100%, but in the District of Columbia, they're down to just 96%. So we're seeing the best deals being struck by buyers in the District of Columbia relative to all the surrounding jurisdictions.
Is that when it comes to homes, townhomes, condos, or is it just across the board?
It's across the board.
Gotcha. So affordability is still an issue for most. How long, Corey, do you believe it will take us to get to that 4-5% interest rate figure?
So we need to be careful how low we want these rates. They got very low because it was the government's response to the pandemic. Typically, when rates get too low, it means that the economy is really struggling, and we start talking about a recession. So we need to walk that fine line between still having growth, but not too much growth, but it allows to have rates come down a little bit. I do think that they're going to meander down into the 5s, and that's historically where they've been. We really have to view the pandemic as a one-off situation that we probably won't see again in our lifetimes, actually.
So for people who want to buy, but they don't necessarily have to right now, and they go, oh, maybe I'll put it off after the holidays, wait to maybe spring, summer of next year, what would be your point of advice for those folks? Get it now or hold off?
Well, the key thing is they've got to have a close relationship with their loan officer so they know what they can afford, or if they can't afford it now, what they need to do to get their ducks in a row for next spring, for example. But I think now is a great time, particularly in the fall, because you've got, as I mentioned, a lot of sellers who just really don't want to carry their property through the cold and freezing weather, which puts a great deal of stress on each property. There are many properties that are vacant, which makes that problem even more exacerbated.
All right, well, Corey, thank you so much. Where can our viewers stay connected with you to learn more?
Well, I can always be reached at 301-346-3345.
All right, well, thank you so much. And we're certainly in a better position today than we have been in previously with you coming on the show. I can sense the difference.
Thank you,
the numbers
Marissa.
are changing, and so is the conversation. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.